Now, let's move into soccer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The ladies.
The ladies.
Woo.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little concerned about how they played recently, but before they got to the knockout round, I mean, they're dominating.
Yeah, it was a shutout, you could say, in group stages.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't allow a single goal.
No, they didn't. And then they finally allowed one recently because of some questionable play by the goalie.
It was rough.
I don't know what she was thinking at that point in time, but either way, we still pulled out the victory thanks to a couple of penalty kicks. So.
Which were a little, little luck, a little bit. Mm-hmm. I felt, it was a fun game to watch. Definitely fun because I felt like Spain brought it all.
Well,
they were tough. Mm-hmm. And I think the US team was not prepared or just not used to it. In the group stages, it was so much easier for them. And then they come out and this team is like in their face, under their jersey, around their jersey, through the leg. They were like, we are not going to let you go through.
Well, there's no more playing like ladies. You got to play like warriors, not to speak of these warriors specifically as a warrior. What? As a gladiator, is that better for you?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
You could have just said warriors and not pointed this out.
I wanted to point this out.
But see how you did that?
I did.
Oh, I know what you were doing. It's all right. How's Bryce Harper doing? Anyway, listen.
He's doing bad. He's doing bad, baby. They're clowning on him on ESPN.
They are, but we're not clowning the ladies yet. We're not. No. It was not the most exciting game for US to watch, of course. But in the knockout round, the win is a win, and that's what matters.
It's true because other teams have not advanced, like Cameroon. They were not victorious. Nigeria was not victorious, and Australia was not victorious. Who apparently had the number one player in the world,
Sam Kerr.
And they could not get it done.
She had just like Alex Morgan in the game against Spain, she was not great, Right. And that second penalty, the one that Rapinoe, she says it Rapinoe. Yeah. I want to read it Rapinoe. I don't know why. Rapinoe.
Little rappy?
Yeah, Rapinoe. Alex Morgan was going to take that second penalty. And then they went to VAR, which has been successful, I think, for this tournament. It slowed down the game, but I think it's important, especially in a crucial moment like that penalty, which brought them up to win.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, in those moments, all of a sudden, Alex Morgan was ready to take that penalty kick. Yeah. And because of the pause in the VAR, they switched it to Rapinoe, which I thought they asked the coach after, and she was like, well, I trust all of them, but I wanted Rapinoe to take it. And I just told her, I want you to take it. And she was like, done, great.
Well, I mean, she got both of them in. So
she did, for sure.
That's really all that matters. My problem with the replay, though, is how they keep using it so much for offsides, and they seem to be changing their rule of offsides within a game. Like the England-Cameroon game, we're talking about there was an offsides that was called that was overturned because of, I don't know why. The woman was clearly well into the offsides area, but she happened to play for England, so it was okay. Now, when a woman from Cameroon has like a toe across this sucker, they're like, that's offsides. I'm like, wait, so a toe, a centimeter isn't appropriate, but a full body is not?
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. So maybe you would like to remove VAR from offsides and just use it maybe for.
I would say just for like legitimate penalties where it's like that might have been a handball or that might have been possibly a yellow card instead of just a regular foul, things of that nature. But for offsides, which is already a questionable thing in the first place.
I barely understand
right,
it.
Yeah. When did offside start, though? Because I remember, like, when you're little playing soccer, there is no offside.
I'm just standing over by the goalie.
Yeah, you could just, like, hang out right there. No one says anything. No offsides. What does that, like, start when you're 13? I don't know.
I don't know. And I agree. It's very confusing. But that might be smart, so it doesn't slow down the game as much as it's been slowing it down.
Right, because we're getting a lot of extra time. Sometimes 9, 10. I've never seen, like, 10 minutes extra time before. That's a lot of extra time. But it's because of, there's the injuries, of course. But then there's also these replays that are taking a while where they're like, I don't know, it might have been a toe over. I still can't believe that one. I mean, Cameroon had every right to be
upset.
Well, play as filthy as they did. And I don't understand how the coach from England's like, that's not football. It's like, man up, dude. Like,
or woman up.
Or a woman dude. Up, whatever, whatever he needs to do.
Do it.
But he needs to do something because it's not like yes, they were playing hard, but everyone knew Cameroon was probably not going to win this game.
Yeah.
So they had to bring it as best they could to disrupt England to possibly get this victory. But, you know, I don't know. I don't like how the coach came out. I mean, it made it sound like they were playing with not within the rules. And it was like,
right.
I mean, they didn't throw out the whole team. You know, they just, unfortunately, were a little rougher.
A little bit. But I do want to go back quickly to that Australia-Norway game, because that was an intense game on all ends. Sam Kerr did not have a great game. She even missed the first penalty kick.
She didn't have like a great World Cup. She had one good game.
Yeah.
But her World Cup as a whole wasn't that great.
And Norway, who doesn't have their best player, you know, they came out and that was a game. I have no investment in either of those teams, and I was like hyperventilating.
Well,
that game was so exciting.
They knew to stop Sam Kerr. They knew if they kept her in check, because I mean, she's the fastest, probably the best striker that Australia has.
Yeah.
So they just knew if they kept her in check. I mean, she had one goal that was later called an offsides where I was like, ugh, it was one of those again with the replay where I'm like, but I mean, yes, this time they did look like they were offsides, but if you didn't do the replay, you wouldn't have seen that.
No.
So yeah, she suffered from the replay booth.
Unfortunately, yeah. So Norway moves on, and obviously USA is moving on, and they're going to take on France later this week.
I know. Look, I found this on set. I don't know who's the French lover here. Found like a little dart that seems to have the French flag on it. That's what I say to that.
So we're not going with France.
We're not going
obviously.
with France. Of course
but
not.
I think it's going to be a great match, and it sucks that they're meeting each other in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I don't understand how the brackets work for the World Cup, because you would think the best would be playing the worst, and the worst would be playing, you know, they just threw it all together. I mean, England has the easiest path. Shouldn't even be complaining.
It's fun. The brackets that are set up, it happens in basketball. You know, football's the only one where it's like the best team plays the worst team. And that's how it should be. That really is how it should be. Even in all sports, I think. You know, if you have the better record, you should have an advantage. It shouldn't be this set bracket. I hate that France is playing USA. Obviously, we're all hoping for USA to win here. Everybody, yes, great. Yeah. Excellent. Yep, exactly.
Well, we only got 3 as there's a quiet fourth person, but he was on his phone. So.
He was on, it's fine. But we're all going for USA, obviously, but this is going to be a tough match. France is playing really well, and they're hosting this.
Oh, yes, they're home.
You know, so they're already kind of have a slight edge, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but it's rare if the home team wins the World Cup. You know, it doesn't happen that often. I mean, it has happened. I mean, we did it back in the 90s, so I mean, it does happen, but it doesn't always happen.
It does not always happen. Yeah. But I'm going to say USA beats France 2-1.
Okay. I'm probably going to say it's going to be closer to 1-0, but I mean,
no, I think both of them are going to score. I'm going to go 2-1. That's what I'm going to say.
2-1. All right.
That's what I'm going to say.
I hope it's a blowout. I hope it's like 5-0, and I hope they just slaughter the.
I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. But because I want to see a good match. No, you want to see a good match.
No. I want just
get
beatings.
Out of here.
I want beatings. I want dream team beatings.
Dios mío.
What do you want at home, people? Do you want the USA to barely win, or do you want them to smother them? That's what I want. Smothered like gravy.
You can smother it, and it could be a 2-1. They could have possession of the ball 75% of the time.
I mean, I guess that's smothering if you have possession the whole time. But I just want savage beatings. That's what I want.
No, you want a good game, and you want them to win.
No, I don't. I want the USA to just go through and just destroy these people.
Kind of like
goals.
We want
goals. There we go. That's right, baby. Yeah.
Why are we clapping for that? Why are we encouraging this behavior?
Because that was authentic, baby.
Shut up. You know who did score a lot of goals? The men's team against Trinidad and Tobago.
I mean, well, they had to have some respect and get some revenge for when they got beaten.
They just need respect in general, because nobody's respecting that team right now.
No one is. And even if they win the Gold Cup, no one's going to really respect them for it, because they didn't make it to the World Cup.
Because they did not make it to the World Cup.
So they're trying
by this team in the last round.
Yeah, they're trying to get a little consolation victory or something.
But they won 6-0. So they did it. They went out there and they were like, we did not forget.
There's no 13-0.
No 13. And nobody's complaining that they did 6-0. No. Nobody's saying that they should have backed off after the 4th goal.
As they really didn't. USA. 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 USA.
Oh, yes, USA. Also, during the CONCACAF Gold Cup, Honduras lost to Curaçao.
Yeah, it's true.
Which was something nobody was expecting. We should mention.
I would hope the coach of the other team thought this was going to happen.
I don't know, man. I don't know. No, Curaçao, this was their first win ever in this tournament, and it was their first goal.
But you would hope going in that you're going to get some victories, right?
I mean, you think Thailand thought they were going to get a victory against the women's USA team?
You have to go in there believing you're going to win, right? You can't just walk in there assuming.
I think there are certain games in certain times in sports where you go in and you're like, y'all, let's just go out there and play, but I don't think we're gonna win.
I mean, I guess
you got to be realistic.
As an athlete, it's in the back of your mind, but you don't want to believe that. You still want to believe that you're going to be dominant.
Sure. I guess you're right. Maybe that's the wrong mentality I'm having. I just am trying to be, I guess, realistic.
Yeah, well.
But in sports, you don't want to be realistic?
You don't want to be realistic because where do we have those underdog stories if those underdogs were realistic about where they sat in the world,
Okay. All right. Fine, John.
We wouldn't have the Blues being the Stanley Cup champions.
Fine, John. I guess you are right.
She called me Fine John.
Okay.
We're going to take that little audio snippet and we're going to keep that forever.